Village Council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order, please. Can everyone rise for the...
We gotta call them.
Pledge allegiance first.
Oh. I'm going home, that's it. I'm questioning.
Well, Margaret's
Shame
going
on
up,
me.
but they're like themselves.
I can't read
I
it.
pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you kindly.
Get the oxygen away from the shop.
Yeah, obviously. Is it leaking?
Must be leaking, yeah.
You got a beer or whiskey?
No, I do not.
Give it to me.
They smell that.
It's water.
Give it to me. Will you call roll, please,
I
Clark?
sure will. Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wolock.
Here.
Valerie.
Here.
Sluds.
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
There we go. Need glasses.
Roll on the agenda. What's the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Ballard and Shaw. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. At this moment, the citizen comments, floor is open up. 3 minutes, state your name for the record, please.
Only me?
Okay. You're on.
I've been here several times. My name is Jason Scott. I live at 73512 Fulton Street. My home sits at the corner of Lathrop and Fulton. The section of Lathrop between Fulton and Church must be addressed as soon as possible. As I mowed my lawn this evening, a wrecker drove down Lathrop exceeding the speed limit appropriate for the condition of the road. The street sweeper needs to clean surface of all the crumbled asphalt, and then potholes can be properly filled. Latest attempt was feasible at best. Cars cannot stop at all the gravel. They skid through the stop signs at both Church and Fulton because the cars are exceeding the speed limit for the proper conditions, or the poor conditions of the road. Someone's either going to get hurt or injured, or at worst lose their life. Before the school recess, please consider rectifying the situation. The condition of the road predates Mr. Sled's position here on the board, so hence I believe the road has been neglected for many decades. I'm asking to do something as a taxpayer as soon as possible.
Anyone else?
I'll hit it during the administrative report.
No one else? Okay, we're going to move on to presentations. There is none tonight. Next is the administrative reports, commissioner liaison reports, code enforcement report, April, month of April, in other words, zoning board of appeals meeting minutes, and putting for chief meeting minutes.
Mr. President, Doug's here from the sewer plant. He'd like to say a few things.
Very good, have the floor.
Good evening, Mr. President and Council. We were notified last Friday and confirmed this morning that the end is in sight as far as the wastewater treatment upgrade goes. They came out Friday, started removing some damaged pieces of concrete on the walkways. They're going to be coming in tomorrow to start replacement of the roof at the wastewater plant. That's been put off so many times because of the weather. Now they're sure they're going to be able to get it done. This is going to take place from Tuesday to Thursday. They anticipate by close of business on Thursday that the roof will be completely replaced. They're also at the same time going to be pouring concrete tomorrow, replacement of concrete, and also there was a additional little walkway that was leading to our sludge holding tanks that was involved in the scope. And lastly, the contractors are also coming out to address the land. They're going to be grading it, get everything to grade, fertilize and seed it. So we're anticipating in a couple of months, it's gonna look like a very professional operation there. We've had one hiccup, and I'm gonna be addressing it with the contractor tomorrow. One of our air reliefs has been clogging up and has caused us a few headaches. So all that's still under warranty. I'm gonna get with the Source and Gross, who's the general contractor, to have Kavanaugh, who's the plumbing contractor, to come in and address it. Other than that, we're in very good shape, sir.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Chris, did you have something?
I do, but if you want to go, be my
Okay.
guest.
So you didn't get my usual 15 pages of waterworks stuff, because I didn't think I had that much to talk to you about, but actually I do. So G2 media replacement, vessel 4 is now complete and back online with no issues. So in other words, the media has been replaced in the vessel. Eagle's been informed, they've had no comments, no issues. So that's very good. Vessel number 3 is scheduled for media replacement on 17 May. And now with the ARPA dollars transferred away from the arsenic detention project to media replacement, I think I indicated last time, I'm working with McIntyre Water Services to give us an updated Phase 2 quote for media replacement in vessels 1 and vessels 2. And the indication is that it will be cheaper than it was when we started. So that's a good thing. I want to take advantage of it. With the ARPA dollars, it's definitely within reach to be able to finish all 4 vessels. We're looking at July, August for vessels 1 and 2. Moving on to cross-connection backflow valve inspections. So again, you've heard this before. HydroCorp will be here to inspect some of the remaining non-residential taps in the village and do some verifications and inspections on some of the taps that had issues and have been fixed. So they're wrapping up. And the expectation is they will be complete with all non-residential taps, facilities by the end of July. That's the end of the contract. I finally did have my call with Macomb County today on the Macomb Orchard Trail connection to Church Street. Thought it was a very good call. Jeff, you'll probably get involved in some of this because they're talking licensing agreement, and I know you and I have kind of worked through licensing or easement agreements before. They definitely want to give you a chance to take a peek at it. It really involves the county, the granary, and us as a municipality. So, and what they're looking for, no surprises, to ensure that there's not maintenance issues that get transferred or safety issues that get transferred. So that, and they said it's very easy to do, and they've done some number of these with other municipalities. So kind of scratching my head why it's taken 4 to 5 months to get there, but hey, I'll take it. Anyway, so that's moving forward, and as we get more information, I'll definitely get the paperwork to you to take a peek at. Had an opportunity to talk with our generator maintainer. So we have a contract with Cummins out of New Hudson, who has a number of mechanics in the area that maintain generator systems. We've got 2 on this contract for waterworks. What we're looking at, because ours is getting ready to expire, is potentially adding in the 2 that Steve has at the wastewater treatment plant, and the Armada Township Fire Department is very interested in adding their 2 generators to the contract. Now the issue is going to be, how do we do billing? They only want to send a bill to 1 person, and I know the village invoices the township on occasion for stuff, but it's another thing we'll have you take a look at, Jeff, if we decide to do this. But there's some fairly significant advantages to pulling all these generators under 1 contract and having them all maintained at the same time. You cut costs, and transportation that they charge for the maintainers to come out here. So the chief is very interested in doing that. Now, as a flip side, maybe this is number 3 that will get you involved in. The chief has suggested that we connect his township fire department generator with our water tank, our elevated water tank. We did have in the budget a generator to put down there, but if I don't have to have a piece of equipment and it's just wiring, that makes a lot of sense to me. Of course, we've got to talk to the township and see if they're amenable to that kind of thing. So more to follow on that. I just got the quote today, so I haven't had a chance to evaluate it. And I want to talk to Steve about it and see what he thinks, but we'll bring it back at another meeting. This is where I Love Armada becomes really fun. So there's been a lot of chatter on I Love Armada about water, water sewer, water rates. They all lump it underwater, and I've kind of had it, and so I've put out there that I'm going to have an open house tomorrow, and I will, for anybody that wants to show up in the village, and I'm just going to tell them how the waterworks budget is developed, what's in the budget, how rates are determined, and how we do billing. Just because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I want to try to set the record straight. Now, I'm not sure who's going to show up. I know of at least one person that was on there that is going to show up, but this is an opportunity just to reach out to the public and say this is how it works. I can appreciate that you don't like it, but this is how it works. And so we're going to do that tomorrow and maybe do some follow-ons. In your packet of administrative reports, you did see the ZBA meeting minutes. We had a ZBA meeting, Zoning Board of Appeals meeting several weeks ago, and so that was our semi-annual, and so we've got that under our belt. And finally, it's with great pleasure that I introduce Adriana Anoni. Adriana is our new summer intern. Kind of talked about her for the last month or two as we tried to work this out. Adriana is going to be working in the water and wastewater departments, as well as helping the DPW out on some things. And first day today, she's already up to here in water and wastewater, figuratively. And so Adriana, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Adriana Novi. I'm current summer intern. I was reached out through Fort County after getting some scholarships last year, and they wanted to start an internship program this summer, so I kind of just got into it, and she told me about this job, and it sounded really cool, so I kind of just got in. I graduated from Armada last year, 2021 graduate from the high school and the academy. So I was in a couple of clubs, PLT, NHS, and I was in cross country and track, so you might have seen me running around town in the past. I'm a current student at U of M, and I'm an undergraduate first year pursuing biochemistry. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing postgraduate, so this is a really good opportunity for me to see some biochemistry and some things in the background, and just get my toes in the water and kind of see what everything's about. So I'm really excited for the opportunity and to work with all of you this summer.
Awesome, thank you.
And she's going to give you to Michigan State grads a hard time as we go. So.
Welcome. Welcome to the village.
Thank you.
We forgot about Ohio State.
You all know she's got her Dayglow orange DPW shirt on, so welcome.
Good. Anything else, Ron?
We need to get like an Armada.
Lanyard.
Yeah, get rid of that. Yes, right. The shirt looks great, though.
Okay.
Chris, I think there's something.
All right, yes, a few things.
Good, Bruce.
Okay, so, the pedestrian crossing signs we talked about last meeting, the deal for the pedestrians, as Mr. Cooper was asking, had been ordered. I saw the payment form. I'm not sure under delivery yet. We've got 8 of them, so we can hit both intersections with them. And be
Where are they going exactly?
right underneath the stop sign on the same pole.
Okay, all right.
So Chief and I reviewed, went through this, the types he caught to the county. They didn't have any specific direction, so we went and found one we liked. And had Dave put them on order, and I saw when I signed the bill that it had been paid for. So that's neat. We did have, and if most of you have seen, the little mini construction project right in downtown. The sewer, we had a little cave in there. The catch basin, the whole collar completely, and one of them completely disintegrated and dropped about 6-8 inches. So that was, you can see now, the basic repair. The first part of the repair is complete, but that is an $8,765 repair. We were not anticipating. The other catch basin is still in decent shape, the collar, concrete or brickwork. Light cracking, which would be normal for 10 years or so, but this one completely disintegrated. So, but the Lathrop Street comments, I've been sitting here, so we've been looking at what we can do. Obviously, from a budget perspective, the reconstruction of that road doesn't fall until 23 or 24. Well, the 23-24 fiscal year, but what we've done is I had Roe, we met, walked the street. One of the biggest things is going to be we have to take care of the drainage. So I have a quote from Roe for $8,900 to do the site survey, because we need to get a full topographic of that area, as well as then engineering to prepare a bid package. It is something that is, whether it's standalone like this is part of the full project, one leads right to the other one. So, we can definitely separate the two and get some significant improvements. Dave's been running the sweeper regularly. The new sweeper, last year's purchase, he'll continue to do so weekly. And like I said, I've got an $8,900 cost to proceed with that. Now, as I was, Jeff and I were talking about it, because that's how it kind of started after this discussion, had a couple council meetings ago, it's one of our projects. We've got an application coming for a grant. We didn't get it last year. It did come back for this year. It's a matching fund, so which is nice, so that it'll be turned in June, and we'll see where that takes us. Right now, as Joe, I think we had would be the 23-24 fiscal year before we would undertake that specific project, either on our own or with a matching grant. But this part of the program, whether it's, and that'll take care of all the shoulder and all that erosion issue that is the biggest problem with the streets in general condition. That'll, like I said, 89 will get us to the point where we can send it out for bid, and then whatever the construction costs for doing that, creating the proper drainage. So regrading sewer, sewer connections, cross connections.
Hey, if I can, just on your signage, correct me if I'm wrong, Adriana, Macomb County did say that the issue came up from Mark Losey today about better hazard warning of that pedestrian crosswalk, and they're talking about some solar LED lights that they may be interested in putting in down there. I mean, it's for traffic. It's not on the trail. It's on to warn traffic. They did say that, and I have to imagine it's true, that if you plow over a biker, it doesn't matter what the biker's doing. If you're in a car, you're going to be the one that's cited. Like I say, I have to believe that that's a correct statement. So. Anyway, I'll find out more, and then I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sure.
So would that
what you
be
wanna do.
making traffic stop for people on that trail?
They
have stop signs.
I got it. They said, most bikers, just think about it for 2 seconds and keep going.
I understand that, but if you stop short, I run the risk of somebody rear-ending me.
Well, you're in a motorized vehicle. You got the ability to probably put brakes on better than they can. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Anyway, this is coming from their Department of Transportation. They said you will definitely get cited.
Andrew?
Andrew, does that make any sense? Andrew's thinking about it.
If the pedestrian's in the walkway,
In the
they
walkway.
have the right of way if they're in the
In the
walkway.
walkway,
But if they blow out in front of a car,
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
they're-
nobody wants to hit
Yeah,
anybody.
they're definitely
I
gonna
mean,
come out on the
obviously,
worst
but-
end of it.
right. So, but if they're in the walkway, you're required to yield.
I mean, I
to
have seen
If you're-
people stop and wave the bike, you know, at
It's
the
a-
trail.
Yeah,
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, it's dangerous either way. I mean, I think people need to be more educated on what the rules of the road are.
yeah.
You know?
I guess I don't know what the answer is, but what they're suggesting is, if you know there's a crosswalk and it's marked and and if you put flashing lights there that let traffic know that there's something there, you're supposed to slow down and be
If I may, Ross,
cautious.
are they gonna be the signs similar to what the school has out at their crosswalks? Where they flash when students are crossing?
Yeah,
I've seen,
I think that's the model that they're going with throughout the county. It's the pedestrian or bicyclist would hit a button, it activates an LED light and it flashes very
That could
bright.
be it.
And those would be posted in the road right away versus the trail or crosswalk right away.
Yes.
So it
Are
will,
they gonna do that on like major roads, like Ridge Road and all of them?
I can't speak to whether, how
Oh.
far they know, but that is the current
Like on a
technology that
55
they're
mile an
moving
hour
to.
road.
You know, because these trails now are very popular and they're crossing major roads quite a bit now, so.
But that's why the trail put up stop signs at those roads.
Well, like
Yeah.
Ross says, they blow through. And
I
on Ridge
understand
Road-
that,
On Ridge
but-
Road, I've seen it happen where
Oh, I have too.
it's been bad.
Me too. That's my point is, you know, it's like, no. Okay.
Yeah, but
Again, what they're simply suggesting is, you know, there's a crosswalk there, assuming it's marked and it's visible, and you should be, you know, take caution when you approach it, not hit that thing at 90 miles an hour, as a lot of people seem to do.
Not in town.
Yeah, well, it's only 50
Nobody's
miles
going
an hour.
90 miles an hour at that trail. It's
Okay,
25.
40
there.
miles an hour, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they are doing 40, that's for sure.
So,
Thank you.
Well, Mr. President, so then we will be continuing also on with I now gotta get the quote for the bridge repairs. We've got the cement work plus the crack sealing, and I did get, Dave sent me, I think you probably got it from you, Joe. Or Becky got the vendor for some of that, so I can reach out and see. We have minor work to do on all four bridges, and a couple need some concrete work. That'll be coming up here shortly.
You don't have it yet?
I do not have it.
Okay.
Nope. I've got two companies. I'm going to quote the cement work, and then like I said, I just got the for the crack sealing. And that should then, at that point, then we'll close out any open issues we had on our bridge inspections.
Okay.
That'd be good. Oh, and then someone asked last time, the current old tractor, the current tractor is a New Holland LB 75. So, and you don't even want to try to figure out the year of it.
I didn't think it was a
See
Ford.
live on those. It's a New Holland. Yeah.
Is that in the minutes?
I know someone asked what it
Oh,
was,
okay.
to compare, and I said, so we're basically replacing one with the same product, same company, but just a different model.
Okay.
Very good. And that's it then, huh?
Nope. Mr. President, I do have a police department report. The action report for April 2022 was traffic related, and traffic stops was 23. There were no assaults in the village. Assisted the EMS 12 times. Assisted other agencies 4 times. Suspicious situations were 2. Civil disputes were none. Dog and animal complaints were none. Disturbances were none. Alarm open door, there was 2. Domestic disturbances, none. 1 lockout. No death investigations, no juvenile related incidences. Damage to property was 1. Mental distress situation was 0. Warrant for arrest was 1. Miscellaneous calls for service was 3. Missing persons, there was 1 and it was located. Other initiated activities was 0. Lost and found property was 1. Theft, 0. Fraud, there was 0. As of May 4th, 2022, miles on patrol car 431 was 74,225. On the 432, the F-150 was $2,459, and 433, the unmarked Dodge was $62,733. I also have a memorandum that went out to all of our officers that I agreed to. I received word on this on 5/5/2022, and I told the chief mayorally to go ahead and tell this to the officers. Due to the controversy over the Supreme Court abortion memo, St. Mary's is getting threats of disrupting mass and vandalism of the building. Please give the church special attention. On Saturday, May 7th, 2022, stay in the parking lot if possible during the 4 p.m. Mass. On Sunday, May 8th, 2022, stay in the parking lot if possible during the 10 a.m. Mass. Both of these things were done. Another thing is, I just want to bring this to your attention, and it'll be on the agenda next, at our next meeting. The first thing that, well, I'll just read it to you. I am first asking your approval to sell our K-9 unit 435. Armada Police does not have a K-9 unit and no plans to start one up. Car 435 is a 2008 Chevrolet and it's seen better days. There's no reason to keep it. And Officer McCary no longer works here. He is the last person to drive it during the last fair. Our current fleet of 2 marked cars and 1 unmarked car is adequate for our current needs. I plan to get 2 magnetic stickers that say Armada Police to put on the unmarked car if we need to use it for patrol purposes. I received a price from Cruisers Incorporated of Brighton of $1,200 to strip the 435 and put it back together for sale. Cruisers does our current changeovers, and the price is very reasonable. I plan on using the radar for the new 431, but that radar doesn't work, and I will see if it can be fixed and act accordingly. When I do the changeover on 431, I asked Keith at Cruisers about the sale of parts off 435, and he told me he has boxes of used parts, and basically any parts other than the radar are scrap. Okay. The second item is that he'll be canceling the purchase of the new Ford Explorer that is in the current budget. Our current 431 has 73,000 miles and is in very good shape. We can easily get another 25,000 miles out of it. The car is scheduled to be built this month, and there is no penalty for canceling the order. Chief Patrick came to your honorable body in December 2021 to order this car in the current budget. I plan to come to you in December 2022 to get approval to order the new vehicle in the 2024, but I think he needs 23 budget. Yeah. At one point in my police career, I ran the car fleet at Clinton Township Police. I normally changed over cars 110,000 miles, and their cars get nowhere near the hard use that Clinton Township cars receive. Thank you for your consideration. I'll pass this all to Michelle so she can make it part of the minutes. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Pass that to Michelle.
So we're gonna go on to general business, consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of April 25th, payment of bills, special event permit application.
We need to pull the minutes because that's not in the motion, I asked you what the model number was and everything, and that's not the model number that you gave me at the last meeting.
No, that's for the old unit.
Oh, the new one's
The
okay.
new one's fine. Yeah,
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
No, it's just what we had before,
Perfect.
and it was, I just wanted to bring it, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head what it was. And
I thought you meant that was the new one we bought.
No.
The model number changed.
The old,
Okay,
right, correct.
perfect.
We're getting we're replacing the New Holland LB 75 with another New Holland.
Yeah, EB 95
Something like
D,
that,
something.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, as long as I don't have to change it.
Nope, you're fine.
Good, very good.
Mr. President, I'll
Yes.
move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Ballard and Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Are you abstaining for minutes? Minutes only.
Excuse me. Old business, sewer plan, Mr. Clark.
I don't really have any more to add than what Doug just gave us tonight.
Okay, very good. A new business, our part-time police wages. And then budget amendments, auditor's engagement letter. Are you with? Well, that's part-time police wages, what's council's worship, please?
Mr. President, resolved to approve the hourly wages effective May 10th, 2022 for the current part-time police officers as follows. $19 per hour for part-time officers having 90 days or less of service to the village. $20 per hour for part-time officers having over 90 days of service to the village. And $22.50 per hour for the part-time officer Jeffrey Gidner.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Yeah, has the chief come and talked to Joe about this?
These are the ones that we came up with here at council. And he knows what's going on.
Okay, so these are the, just want to be sure, because I've seen this a few times, I'm just not connecting with the dollar amounts.
I thought we did this
We
a couple weeks
we
ago.
did one, you're right.
You did, but it
At
was,
the
they
bottom.
were different rates.
They were different, yeah, different rates.
And they weren't
But the
approved
key
in
with it is.
council.
Not these rates, no.
Yeah, so these are different rates. I mean,
They're higher.
I don't have a problem with it in theory, but I've asked the chief just to sit down with Joe and make sure that it all jives with the budget.
What did we do a couple weeks ago? What was the rate for these three items?
They went up to only,
Was
they went
it
up to 19. They went from
17, 18,
18.
19?
They went to 18, 1850, and 19.
So we had put them at
$18 per
1850, and what?
And 19.
So now
This
we're
is,
down to $2.
first of all, the way we usually do it is you start out at one rate, 6 months later you go to another, 6 months later you go to the other, okay? This is changing, obviously the rate, but this is changing the way that we usually do it, and it goes 19 to 20 in 90 days. The only concern I have is, you know, they're part-timers, they might only work 3 shifts in 90 days. They might only work 5 shifts. You know, I mean, that's something that needs to be taken into consideration, because it's a, you know, it's a dollar jump. But, not that they're not worth it, I'm not saying it. Worth every penny.
Did we change it to 90 days, the last one?
No, we didn't, no.
I thought it was 6 months as well.
It's 6 months, it's always been 6
Okay.
months. This is the first time it's been different.
Well, so again, I just gotta go back, I'm not adverse to it, as long as we determine that it's supportable in the budget. And remember, there's 3 components to the police budget. There's the, you know, STI, which goes up and down. There's PA 33, which has been going down, and the only other piece is the general fund. General fund draw is going up, and that's got to stop. That's going to put other stuff at risk, right? So that's my concern. I know that and I've talked to the chief. He appears to have a plan to be able to do it this year. So again, I'm not necessarily adverse to it, but I just like to know that he's sat down with Joe, and Joe says, yeah, it's supportable this year, and we can support it in future years. That's where we're gonna get ourselves into trouble. And I would like him to, spend a half an hour sitting down with Joe and going over it, and then I don't know if we have to do it. I think we do, that the contract, executive contract review committee, if that's the right terminology for it, just needs to take a peek at it. I think it's you, and I think it's you, Marv, or maybe it's you, Lyle.
There's nothing new that that committee can add to this. We approved something here, several meetings ago.
Well, budget. Well, they did the meeting after budget.
Right,
Yeah.
because they got the approval
So
of
I
the
felt
7%
like
that
I
was in the
hate to
budget.
change it so quickly.
They got that already.
Well, that is changing. It is changing across.
Yeah,
It
it would
It's
change.
changing it immediately,
Yeah,
you might say.
right.
Okay, so the thing is, then, I mentioned at the last meeting, the intent, when one of the officers was here, which is sharp, he was getting extra money for being a sergeant.
Yep.
So now the other one moves up, but he was getting the same pay. And I questioned the old chief. Why is that continuing on when the sergeant was here? It shouldn't have been. The intent of the negotiating committee at that time was not to continue. It was just when he took the job of the sergeant when he was off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know that the treasurer's got a stamp of approval on it, that it's doable, and we don't do something that is gonna come back and hit us later on.
Joe, there's not enough in the budget.
In the police, no, police is in a deficit budget.
But they always are, Joe.
Yeah, but now you've got to pull more out of the general fund to add into it to cover these wages, and nobody's talked to me about it at all. I mean, they did get the 7% that we allocated at budget, but no one came to me and talked to me about anything different with part-timers, so.
I mean, I guess that's what I'd like to see, is just that conversation before we go ahead. And if Joe and the chief come out and Lyle linked arms and everybody says, yeah, it's doable, we've figured out a way to do it, then I don't necessarily have a problem with it.
Well, this issue that I'm talking about, this stems back from the negotiation a year before this. So why did it continue on?
Yeah, I
No
don't
offense
know.
against the officers. No offense.
So should we table this until Joe does talk to the?
I would think that would be the prudent thing to do.
You got a motion on the floor that's been approved, you gotta call.
You gotta call for a roll call.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ballard,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
No.
Cronin,
No.
Belkey,
With regret, no.
Sleds,
Yes.
Wolock,
No.
so do you want to bring this back to
Yep.
another meeting, or?
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think we have to be careful here because you're on the motion's been turned down, so you can't bring it, somebody on the prevailing side needs to bring it back. You just can't bring it back for
Okay.
another vote on the same thing.
Okay, all right.
So I'm not saying you can't meet, and if Ross, you want to bring it back, or anybody on the side that voted no, if you guys get the information you want, you can bring it back.
Okay.
But
Yeah. And I'd be happy to do it. I just want to see that it's workable.
To me, we just gave the guys a raise,
They got the 7.5%,
7%.
7%.
so it's not like we didn't do anything and we just did it a short period of time. We're gold.
Yeah, I mean, again, the chief's principal concern is being able to get the
people,
talent
yeah.
he needs
Yeah,
at a competitive wage to other local municipalities. I get it. And if the money's there, then I'd like to see it happen. If we can prove the money's there. And I share Joe's concern that it just keeps chipping away at the general fund, and at some point, you gotta stabilize the police budget so that it's affordable. So,
I don't think it's the point we're against any particular officers
no,
or officers.
no,
We've been for
yeah.
our officers.
Yep.
We've been for them. And I'll continue to be for them. But my understanding is, at one point, why did it not stop? The other officer was bad.
Yeah, that's,
But that's,
different issue.
that's past, there's nothing you can.
Yeah, it's past, yeah, but the thing is, now they went back another raise, so soon. Well, okay. We'll work on something else.
So Mar was combining two issues in the state, or one station, right? One
Yeah.
officer in particular,
Yes.
and then the rest is, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I say why it's continuing is because the role is still, the backfill, and the tasks that are performed are still being performed by that person. So even though, you know, the other officer came back, the tasks didn't go away,
Right.
so.
And the pay wasn't taken away.
And I would say it shouldn't be. But that's another whole nother
Yeah,
structure
that's-
issue and all
yeah.
that stuff too that comes with, you know, what you do with the department and command, you know, positions and things like that, and how you groom people for the future. Opportunities here, right? What upside do you have coming working?
Well, you step up and you step back. You know, goes it's along already. Which, you know, may not be right. So,
Lyle, maybe you can recommend to the chief that he sits down and,
I will.
I've mentioned that to him several times, and
I think
maybe,
you did at the last meeting.
maybe
if I'm
he's
not
busy. or-
mistaken.
What's that, Michelle?
I said for Joe, I think, because you said it.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it need, because it was just Joe and the chief, and then I think President Wolak said, you know, Lyle, you should go too, I think.
yeah, right, I did,
Mistaken.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that, the two of them together can meet with her. She's here.
Yeah, just prudent, I think. And then if everything is good, you know, I'll bring it back.
Chief is on vacation this week, isn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And budget amendments?
Which one do you have listed first,
You got,
Michelle?
well, they got both of them on.
Both of them,
Yeah.
Major streets first.
Okay, I gave you a little extra backup than I normally do. I gave you the invoice that created the budget amendment, the copy of that department's budget, so you kind of got the overall picture. Major Street is an increase in expenditures for account number 463801, Major Streets Subcontractors. The increase to major budget for sublet contracting by 43,000. I don't have my glasses on, so give me a minute.
Well, this was for Fulton Street grading,
Yes.
because it wasn't in the budget and it was approved at the last meeting.
Right.
And then the next one was just for,
General.
the overage
General
on
thing.
the backhoe.
Backhoe.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
So
it
that's
shows you
there.
what the budget was, where we left off. The change in Major Street is $43,000, leaving you with a adjusted prior year fund of $134,738.84. You want to do motion separate?
they can just read the motions. I've got them all prepared. The
Okay.
motions are prepared.
Okay.
All right. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to increase major street fund expenditures of account number 463-801, line item subcontractor by $43,000, bringing the total estimated fund balance to $134,738.84.
Support.
Joe, do you need a roll on these?
Yes, because that increased the budget.
Moved and supported by Sled, Ballard, pardon me.
You want me to call roll?
I gotta clear my throat.
I know. I can call it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Sleds,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Wallach.
Yes, motion carried.
And then the next one is
And this
just the increase.
Yeah, these are much money.
Yep.
Yep, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to increase general fund expenditures of account number 442-970, line item capital outlay by $14,086, bringing the total estimated fund balance to $696,073.78.
Support.
Moved and supported. Ms. Sled and Ballard. Any further discussion? If not, okay.
Sleds,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Wallach,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Belkey.
Yes.
And first you have a copy of the letter that was mailed to you at your residence.
Oh, yeah. The auditor's engagement.
If the engagement letter.
Yep.
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the auditor's engagement letter and to allow the village treasurer to sign on behalf of the village.
Support.
Moved and supported.
Was that you, Chris?
Yes.
Yes. Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
And motion carried. Up and coming agenda item,
We're good. We have one more. Fulton Street, Grady.
That is false.
No, that's sorry,
backup-
that
that's
got,
backup material
that's just
for it.
backup material for that, sorry. I confused myself. It's the, you laughed a little too hard about that.
Like to bring the police cars back to the agenda
Yep.
for the next meeting?
yes, Mr. Brett.
Try to give you an update on the generator maintenance proposal, quote, I guess, what I want to say.
Generator maintenance quote.
Ross, what do you think about the police wages back again, maybe?
He'll let me know. I mean, I guess it depends on what
Yes,
happens.
exactly, if it's
Yep.
fast enough. it's
Yep.
more-
We have the concerts in the park, everybody got a copy of the upcoming, I think June 15th is the first one.
Yep.
June 15th, Silver Studs.
Is the schedule all filled for that, Mike?
Yeah.
With vans?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Citizen comments at this time. Name for the record? Nobody? Council comments?
Michelle, I'd like to get this list from the MML, and I'd like to go statewide in villages.
Yep, I can print, I have the whole thing.
Good.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Villages and
I can get
towns
that to
like
you.
this.
All right. Community events. We have our Memorial Day parade coming up, but we have a meeting before that. So we will announce it before that.
You'll have to approve it at the next meeting.
Yeah, to actually welcome and be with our veterans. They served our country so well. So, tonight we don't have a closed session. And I'm going to entertain a motion for adjournment at this time.
Just before we do, just one more thank you to the Lions Club and our anonymous donor that donated 100 trees. It's made a big difference in the community. There's a lot of trees have gone into their yards. The Lions Club gave us $7,400 for the pine trees, and those will be planted here soon. So I just can't thank everybody enough that contributed to those.
Have we sent any letters out to these
Nope.
people? I think that'd be a good gesture.
Yes, I will do that.
could I ask that you put Fort County in there too, because they
Yes, Fort
donated
County was
trees, so
another-
we've
Yep.
picked those up and they've all been distributed.
They
Yeah,
look
every,
great too.
everybody
Yeah, that shows.
Yeah.
yeah, make sure they get a
The
letter.
St. Clair Conservation Department gave us the crimson maple ones too, so that was another donor. They gave us 20 of those, I believe. So,
Well, such a
Yeah.
tragedy, and the tragedy turned out that everyone was so pleasing,
yeah,
always doing something for somebody else.
yeah, this has been.
You know, that's hard to beat.
It is.
That's a classic. I mean, that's a real classic. So, good,
Thank you.
thank you. So, did I hear a motion?
Not yet.
Not yet, we stopped you.
Mr. President, the time is 7:53. I move to adjourn.
Support.
By Ballard, Belkey?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.